Hey everybody, welcome back to part 2 on how to. Somebody asked me how I do my dirt roads, so I'm going to show you. This is what it looks like when it's done. And it goes all the way back to there. And then it goes this way to a farm, which will be down this way. And then I left this part open so I can show you how I do it. So what I do is I take N-scale cork and I use it for a border. And I just pin the cork down to the benchwork so it doesn't move. Get that down there real quick so it doesn't move too much. There it goes. Okay, so what you want to do is you first got to make sure that dude is straight. Let's move that in there just a skosh. There we go. Okay, so what you want to do is you have to soak the bottom area. And I use scenic cement. So you can just take a brush or an eyedropper. Since we're doing a small area, we'll just put some down in here with the eyedropper. And then we'll take a foam brush that I shared with you in part 1 and kind of just spread it around. And just kind of go back and forth a little bit. Give it a couple seconds to soak in. And then what I'm using is this new stuff from Woodlick Scenics. It's called gravel. And I'm using the buff core so I can actually see it. The fine stuff is so small, you can barely see it. So that's what I'm using. And I have it, what's left in this cup right here. And what you want to do is just sprinkle it down there and cover it up. And you got yourself a road almost. The first layer, I usually do 2 layers. And I'll explain that in a minute. But your first layer, you just want to put it on lightly. Cover the area that you want to cover. Get that down. Sure, it looks pretty good. This road continues down that way and goes that way, but for the video purposes, I'm just doing this part. So there's your first layer. And what you can do is you can go back and find out where you need some, or you got too much, or what have you. And then you can take these brushes and you can tap it down like that. Or you can take a piece of cork and do it like that. I need just a little bit more over here. There you go. Like that. And what I do for the first coat is I just spray it down. I have scenic cement in this sprayer, and I use this sprayer because it has a fine mist pump on it. The sprayer that comes with the scenic cement is terrible. It sprays all over the place except for where you want it. So then you just spray heavily, spray it down from a distance, and just soak it down. Back and forth a couple times. There you go. And I'll tell you about the second coat here. Just a second. Let me get another coat on there. There you go. You really want to soak it because this stuff is so fine, even though it's coarse. So there you go. So on your second coat, you can decide if you want to add green material like I did here. I don't know if you guys can see that. Or if you want to add bushes. Or I'm actually going to line the sides of this with fine tullus. And it actually comes in the same color as this stuff. So there'll be actually a little rock border where you see that cork. So that should come out pretty good. And this whole scene, even though it's kind of clustery right now, this is going to be a huge farm scene with corn crops, farmhouses, and barns. So, and this goes to a road crossing. This is a Mains Away spur. They actually have one near my aunt's house in Missouri, so I thought I'd put that in there. And now all this is farm. And then I got to put a divider in here. I'm not quite sure what to use. And then there's that grain elevator. In real life, that grain elevator is about 10 miles down the road, but we all know how that goes. All right, you guys, short and sweet. When all this is done, all the roads are done, I'll show you the complete version. We're going to be doing a lot of scenery, probably tonight and next Saturday, so I'll show you all that next week. All right, everybody, keep training. Be safe. Out.